streaming is live. Go ahead. Let me give him a quick intro. Man behind the hustle and grind. This is pride, courage, determination, and perseverance. Welcome to No Luck's Given. All right, welcome to No Luck's Given. We are live on the podcast with Brother Luck, my co-host. We call him Brother Luck on the podcast, not Chef Brother Luck. And then we got Chris here as well, and I am Dana Keith. And we are live, guys. Welcome to the podcast. I can't believe this is doing it.
I think we rotate the camera around that way we can see everybody who's in the house. So you got me, Chef Brother Luck. Welcome live.
All right.
We are coming at you live week 2. This has been an exciting journey. But we got some people on here, right? So of course we got Chris Madison.
Let's go ahead and throw Chris on. Welcome in, Chris.
Thank you.
All right, and then
and let's talk about who is Chris.
Yeah, Chris, right? Give us a good intro, man. You were with us
last week. They're like, "Who's the random black dude?"
Oh man, okay. I'm Chris Madison. So I'm a soldier inside the United States Army.
Yes, sir. And thank you for your service.
I work at La Rochelle DFAC. Shout out to La Rochelle, Son Febre, Son Persons, Carrillo, Vaughn. Shout y'all boys out. You know what I'm saying? I got put in this program to come work with Brother Lynch for 45 days.
Brother Lynch, you Lynch.
Brother Lynch.
You lynching people. Oh,
Brother
Lord.
Luck for 45 days. My bad. I'm trying to text him.
No, it's one of my favorite rappers. It's okay.
Nah. You know about Brother Lynch?
I'm from the Bay Area.
Okay.
I was listening to Brother Lynch before you probably born.
Okay.
See, look, that brother got all the history in the music. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I am a hip hop scholar. Just saying, don't test me.
All right. And then I'm Dana Keith, father, filmmaker, creator, co-host of the No Luck's Given podcast. And, man, I'm just excited to have my own camera today. I got my own camera. Everybody's got their own camera today. Man, that's a big difference. But welcome to the podcast, man. This is an honor to be here, to be able to, share these conversations with the world, because we've been having these conversations and they mean so much to me. And I know other people will find value in them. So that's what we're doing, is we're sharing a journey. And we are live, guys. What's up, Brother Luck? What you got going on, man? How you feeling today? We see the project in a whole new form.
Yeah, this space has been coming together tremendously. We've been working so hard this last week. I think that's been something that is a story in itself. So let's catch up on the studio. What have we been doing since last Wednesday?
Let's do that.
So we've been up here. We've now got all of the floor joists done, the subfloor rebuilt. We now have an actual floor put in, so the floor looks nice and pretty.
Lovely, man. It feels incredible.
It's amazing. I'm really excited about it. So we have the floor put in. Really stoked about that. We just got all the framing done, right? So the framing just finished today. So really, really stoked about that. There's like almost walls, but we got a bathroom and we got a dish area, and now we framed out the kitchen in the library. So that's worked out.
Nice.
The electrician came through and he started cleaning up the box and making sure everything's safe and round where it should be. We should have lights, hopefully, by Friday. That's my guess right now.
Lights are coming in.
The lights are here, right? So the lights are already here. He just has to finish installing the boxes, the junction boxes up there in the rafters. So that's coming in. Really stoked about that. And then we bought chairs. I bought chairs for this new space. We also had the team from Eden Oaks. Freddie, shout out to Freddie over at Eden Oaks, came through, and he measured for our barn door, our tables. He's going to be doing some custom tables. If you've ever been to Four, Freddie from Eden Oaks is the man behind those. They're beautiful tables, so really stoked to be able to work with him again. So he's going to be doing our tables. He's going to be doing our barn doors, probably some backsplash, maybe the bar as well. So we're talking that. I bought a toilet today.
That was just put in.
It was literally the plumber just left. Shout out to Garber.
Yep.
That just went in like 10 minutes ago.
Right now.
So we actually have, and it works. So there's no walls, but we actually have a toilet. So that's absolutely special. He was like, "How much did you spend on this toilet?" I was like, "It's got to be nice. This is the studio. The studio has to be nice." So we're really stoked about that. So that just went in. We measured for the floorboards and the framing on the windows and the doors. So all that trim is being milled right now. Drywall and plaster starts on Monday, so they're going to get all this, cleaned up, looking nice and pretty. And then the painters come in after that, which is exciting because that means we're almost there. So
close, man. So much has been done in a week.
I'm feeling like we've got some really, really good momentum happening right now. So that's kind of where we're at right now with the studio. I'm looking at the other pieces that we're going to be needing, right? The appliances to cook on, the tabletops, right? All the smallwares, the shelving.
Yep.
I got to go get the cabinetry for the dish area for the sink. I got to get the sink. I got to get the vanity for the bathroom. So there's still a lot more to do. We just ordered the doors. So the doors just got ordered for the bathroom, so you can have some privacy.
Right.
Which I think is another important part, right?
For sure.
This isn't outhouses. But yeah, I mean, it's surreal when you get to watch it happen. And I think this is my 5th project that I've been a part of as far as build out from the very beginning, and you learn each time. So I think as a chef, as an owner, it actually gives me an appreciation for the space because I get to watch it come together. So I understand what's happening all the way through. So it's been pretty cool, and you get to watch it. I mean, you saw me swinging a sledgehammer 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, man. Just to kind of throw that in there, we were demoing the building, and like I kid you not, like he's pulling down all these things from the roof, and then ends up just grabbing a sledgehammer. It's like, you want to get some anger out? And I'm like, not right now. Well, I'm filming. You can go and swing that thing. So we got some good footage of the demolition here. I want to definitely grab some footage of this week so I can get that progress. But, man, in a week, in such a short time frame, we've seen it growing already. And the people following along, they've been able to see us grow already. So, I mean, it's incredible to think in 1 week that it's grown so much. I mean, the floors is a project or a story of its own, to be able to have solid floors in here. So that's incredible. I'm very excited about that. But, yeah, I'm able to see, the transition from, what it used to be to what it's becoming. And, honestly, today I walked in and I didn't even know where I was at. It was like, what in the heck is going on in here? It looks real good, though. I'm pretty excited about it. And I'm sure, you got plans for the next week or whatnot.
Well, and I think the cool part too is Chris has actually been able to watch it. So he's part of our Bridge the Gap program, where we take soldiers from Fort Carson who are culinarians or culinary specialists, and we give them a 45-day view of what happens in the restaurant industry. Right, as a civilian. So I think it's been pretty cool for him to watch.
Oh yeah,
a full build out. Like that's a rare glimpse that most people don't get to see. So I'm stoked that we're getting to film this. We're getting to share with the viewers, all of our fans, to come along for this journey, because that's one of the most exciting parts. Is, I mean, watching it happen, like
right
from dust to walls being torn down to plumbing to electricity to it's surreal.
Stripping down walls to put back on walls. That's
It's all happening so quick too.
Chris, tell us what are your thoughts? Go ahead, because you've seen it in the last week.
Yeah, it's amazing. Like it's coming together. It's all coming together, and it's happening very quick. Like when he told me about it, when he first told me about it, it was the floors weren't even in.
Yeah,
and I remember walking in here, and I just looked down. I'm like, wow, this was quick. And he just looked at me and just nodded. I was like, yep, I told you.
Yep,
I told you.
It's like that.
It's amazing, though. It's amazing. It's going to be a nice little spot, though.
No, I love it. Just even like there's this little step. So there used to be a pretty big gap from
That's
one
where we
side.
hit the bodies.
Yeah, one side of the building to the other. And, like, I was just amazed at that alone. I mean, the transformation is incredible. Man, we got to open this up. We have an incredible topic. Obviously, Chef Brother Luck is a huge advocate for mental health. That is our topic today, kind of to just jump on that. So we do kind of want to open this up and really dive into mental health. I think that there's a lot of stereotypes about it. We actually referenced mental health in the Joe Flam episode, and we talked a lot about it. I loved how Joe was always talking about being grateful and being present, and then passing that knowledge on. But today we want to go a little bit deeper. And Chef, I think that this is a topic that you're, keep close to your heart. Obviously, you're very open to the public about it. But we kind of want to talk about those dimensions, you know, that actually goes into mental health, and also the, you know, the not the stereotypical, but what is it, like the cliche topic?
Yeah.
Like we kind of want to dive into a little bit more, because these conversations need to be had so that we can actually gain some momentum, you know, pushing forward into the positive. So I'll open it up to you, Chef.
No, absolutely. You know, I think the first part when it comes to mental health is realizing that everybody has mental health, right? That is something that everyone has. And when you can own that part of it, now it's about protecting your mental health, right? We talk about physical health, but mental health is something that a lot of us just kind of brush off. And a lot of us, especially as the generation that we came up in was about hiding your emotions. Right? Being tough. Not wearing it on your sleeve.
Right.
And eventually that spills over.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, how long do you hold on to that before you take it out on your loved ones?
Oh my goodness, yeah.
You know, right? We think those are the people that love us the most. So those are the ones that we're going at the hardest.
Right, because they won't go.
Right. And we're giving them the brunt of it. And it's because so much is being held on. So, you know, I've really learned to just pay attention to my own mental health.
Yeah.
Right? Finding time for myself, knowing where I'm at mentally, where my head's at, if I'm in a funk, how to get out of that funk.
Tell us, give us some tips for you, like what works for you. I think last time you said golfing, you know, gives you that peace of mind. Like, what are some tips in like actual day to day that help you pull back?
Yeah, you know, I think the first part is recognizing where you're at. You got to do a check-in, right? Where are you at on a 1 to 10?
Right.
Where are you at on a happy face, a sad face, a angry face? Like, figure out where your identifiers are. Like, you have to own that part of it. Once you do that, then you can start to solve. And I think that's one of the most important parts is, you know, for me, I need to know where I'm at because I control my emotions. I can't control other people's emotions.
Right.
And I have to take responsibility for my actions. So I'm constantly aware of how I'm feeling because I know it's going to factor into how I respond to people or how I come off. Yeah. And one of the most important parts has been perspective.
I love that word.
I never realized how much body language I carried.
Yeah.
Right? Just, hey, Chef, you got an RBF.
Yeah.
I'm scared to talk to you.
Right.
You're unapproachable. I'm in the greatest mood. But because I'm wearing no emotion, I've guarded it for so long, I got these walls up.
Yeah.
I'm unapproachable now.
That's tough.
Even if I'm not in a bad mood. So
right.
Body language is important, right? Perspective, perception. Perception is reality.
Yeah.
I think that's another really big piece that stands out for me because, you know, we have to be aware of our perception, right? How people are responding to us, how they're taking the information.
Yeah.
So you have to be aware of those surroundings because people are feeding off that energy.
I feel like there's like a pool there because in some extent, a lot of mental health issues come from the perception of someone else or what they believe someone else's perception of someone else. Talk about how you differentiate that small, thin line.
Yeah, I think the most important part for me is to be real, right?
That's so true. I love it.
That's the most important one right there.
Yeah, that hit my heart right there. Go ahead.
You have to be real, right? We measure our happiness by other people's greatest hits. And I think a lot of that is because of social media. Someone posts something on Instagram and you're like, "Oh, I'm on the beach. I'm on vacation. I'm having this amazing dinner. I'm driving this Ferrari. I got a boat." Like there's whatever it is, we're measuring ourselves and our lives against their greatest hits. Right? They had a bad day. And that picture is probably from like 2 months ago. But they're not talking about the 2 months.
Right.
And we have to remember that piece of it is like stay real. So it's like it's why I'm so vulnerable and so honest on social media. Because I don't want you to think like everything's perfect. Like I'm frustrated every day.
Yeah.
But I don't have the option to wear it on my sleeve. I have to make a choice. I have to make a decision. So when I get up in the morning, I have to make that decision to say, you know what? I'm choosing for that not to let me be angry.
And I think just to dive a little bit deeper into that decision, like as I was driving over here, I was trying to think like, you know, for mental health for me, it always comes back to like attitude. And I think that that's kind of what you're hinting to is like, you know, you wake up in the morning and almost decide your attitude by the things that you think and the things that you allow, you know, into your world.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that that kind of attitude in specific is kind of what you're describing. What do you think?
Well, and you also got to think, like, how do you start your day?
That's so key.
Do you when you wake up in the morning, do you roll over and go straight to Facebook?
Right.
Or straight to Instagram?
Right.
Or straight to work emails? Or straight to text messages?
Right.
Or do you take the first 10, 15 minutes to get in tune with who you are, right? Whether that's spiritual or that's meditations or that's physical health.
Yeah.
Are you starting your day for you?
Right.
I think that's one of the most important parts. Like I intentionally try not to open my Facebook and my Instagram as soon as I wake up in the morning to see what happened.
Right. It's
right. Cause it's a trap.
It is. Yeah. Chris, go ahead. I feel like you got something to say.
Yeah, he definitely touched on a lot of good points about it. I know when I first joined the military, that was like a big part, mental health and stuff and depression and all that.
Yeah.
And I remember I had an NCO who used to say, when you wake up, start by making your bed. That's the first thing you need to do in the morning. Make your bed.
Yeah.
And then roll from there.
Yeah, that lets you have at least something already accomplished. Something in order, something done. My father was military for 20 years. He made my ass make the bed.
You see. Yeah.
So I know all about that. But just diving into a little bit deeper, like I know last time we referenced things like mind, body, and soul, the triangle. What helps you? Because we talked about it briefly, that it's not just physical health, mental health, and they kind of relate. You know what I mean? They're like cousins. You know what I'm saying? So talk about how you balance those two, obviously, or even, your spiritual, because I think that's the third, right?
No, that's a big piece for me. Spiritual is the first. I mean, I've really found my faith and pursued my faith, and it's a constant struggle, right? And to each his own. I'm pursuing my own journey.
No, that's good.
But for me, the most important part has been really just listening, looking up and listening, right? Because I anytime I think I'm in control is when things fall apart.
Right.
So I need to stop controlling and start trusting.
Right.
And that faith and that trust is what's giving me better clarity to make better decisions. And it's helping so much. But now it's actually, I'm forcing myself to surround myself with people that think the same way. So it's like, just making the effort to do a Bible study with Tina.
Yeah. Gosh, that's so good.
And that's hard because that you have to drop a wall.
Right.
Right. And lose some of the pride and be humble and be a servant.
Right.
And that's something that's really helped me out. But then my circle is smaller than a penny.
Oh yeah.
I keep a very tight circle, but it's the people that are around me on a daily basis that are outside of work are people that I know are going to be by my bedside when things go bad, or were literally by my side when things went bad this last year.
Right.
And I've learned to appreciate that. Like I was chasing a lot of attention and relationships that weren't sustainable. They made no sense.
Yeah.
I was lost in what I was going after. And that was all for clout and for, trying to build a brand. And, I'm trying to justify it. Like, I'm going to be a celebrity chef. I went on TV. Like all that stuff comes and goes. Like none of it's reality, right? You still got to get up. You still got to walk your dogs. You still got to take care of business. You still got to wash the dishes. Like you're still an everyday person. And, for me, there was just a moment, and COVID just kind of reinforced it. Like, you need to reassess what you're doing. You on a plane every weekend.
Right.
It's not healthy, and that led to mental health. That led to spiritual health. That led to physical health. I mean, all these things, I'm more aware of now.
So you talked about your Bible study or studying the Bible with T. Talk about that, because I think there's something there that needs to be diving into a little bit deeper, because spiritual or religion in specific is so important in terms of relationship and being on the same page. So talk about that dynamic and how did that go for you guys?
Yeah, I'm trying to find something bigger than me, and I'm trying to trust something bigger than me because I don't know it all. And when I look at principles or I look at values, there's a lot of things that I want to be like.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm trying to emulate. So for me, that's an extremely important part right now in my life is maintaining, my relationship with God and then my relationship with my family and then my work.
Right.
And not screwing up that
order.
That
order.
Right? That's the order for me. Right?
Yeah.
And everyone has their own order, but like I screw that order up every day.
Right.
I'm like, I got to get up. I got to go to Costco. Then I got to go to Lowe's. And then I got to go fill in this body because this person didn't show up. And everything becomes work.
Right.
And I don't make time. So it's like I'll catch myself in the middle of the day and be like, okay, I got to stop. I got to look up and listen.
Yeah.
Let me take 5 minutes.
And just to dive into this a little bit deeper, because there's something here that I love, because studying the Bible literally it's so vulnerable. It brings people together in a unique way. But describe that vulnerability, like going through that with your wife. I mean, obviously, she's somebody who you've been with forever, but even then, like, spiritual is so personal, like opening these doors and these vulnerabilities that, truth be told, only Lord does know what's in your soul.
Yeah.
How is that for you?
Well, you have to trust the voice that you're feeling inside, right? Something's tugging at your heartstrings,
Mm-hmm.
right? You know when you're doing something wrong. You know when you're doing something that's not good for you. You know when you should be listening, or something's telling you don't go that way.
Right.
And you have to listen to that. And for me, what there's always small things that I catch where I'm like, oh, okay. And I listen to that and I start to follow it. And, the results have been joy and happiness.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah.
And whatever religion you're pursuing or spirituality that you're pursuing, pursue it.
Right.
Right. Because it's for you. That's what you need. You need to feel better about it. Right. We need more happiness. Right.
Yeah.
We've all been around a lot of hate, a lot of anger, a lot of frustration. We're seeing it every day in our streets. We have to change the cycle. Right. But we also have to inspire.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the most important pieces of this puzzle is if you want to see change, you've got to inspire change. Right. You got to get somebody to think differently than how they were thinking this morning.
Mm-hmm.
That's powerful.
And that's the example, right? Is being the example, right? I'm showing up and I'm doing the work and I'm trying to be that person. So you're not calling me out, right? And if you do call me out, I'm humble enough to admit it and say yes.
To listen, right.
And listen, right? And actively listen.
Yeah.
Right? To not give you to not listen to respond.
To respond. God, that's big.
Yes,
that's
right?
big.
Yeah.
I'm listening because I want to hear what you have to say.
Take it in.
Because I know it's better for what I'm doing or what you're doing. So, having such a strong relationship with Tina, we've grown in our communication over 20 years.
Right.
Which has made us better people.
Right.
And has made us better leaders and has made us who we are today. And we're just grateful for that. But a lot of that becomes back to faith. It always goes back to faith with us. Right?
Yeah.
There was always something that pushed us back. That was like, hey, you guys are running too fast. Slow down.
Yeah, slow down.
Slow down.
I heard that's a good key to marriage, faith.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's a solid foundation or fundamental principle.
Because it's bigger than all of us.
Yeah. All right, y'all, my bad. I'm messing up on the cameras over here. Let me just go back to something, because I think that a lot of times when people talk about mental health in specific, they tag it with depression as if it's, they go together. And depression is a part of mental health. But I think there's something a little bit deeper that what brother just mentioned is being the joy, being the light in the situation. Chris, go ahead. I feel like you got something to say.
Yeah. So just like Brother Luck was saying, I mean, you have to I know I've been through mental health problems. I've been through depression. It's something that is better if you have somebody to talk to about it.
That's so big.
Somebody to talk to. Like at the end of the day, I feel like it just has to get out sometime. So you have to talk to somebody, find that loved one that you trust, somebody you feel like you can talk to about it and just let it out. And you also have to have that because depression hits hard, man.
Right.
Like depression hits hard. Like it's been those days when you just don't want to get out of bed.
Right.
You know you got stuff to do.
Right.
You don't want to get it done. You just gotta have that grind. You gotta say, I'm not gonna let this hold me back from my future. You know.
No, that's big, and you're right. I mean,
it's just something that has to be in you. You know, it's something that has to be in you. Just say, you know what, I know I'm not feeling it right now, but I still got things to do.
And I think that it's something that is in you, and I think that that's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Is that, and even when you talk about depression and saying that it's tough and like you can't get out of bed, something inside of me wants to say like it's okay to go through that time, like that.
Well,
that
and
phase
think about
and
it too.
moment.
Even when you look at the words depression, right? You
Tell
look
me.
at the word depression.
Yeah.
If you black out some of those letters, it says press on.
Press on.
I mean, press on. Don't be right because
That was a brother luck Jim, y'all. That was a brother. Hold on. We got to give you. Yeah, that's worth it, man. That was a good one.
Good one.
I love finding pieces like that because I struggle with depression and I've struggled with it for a long time.
Right.
I just didn't realize I was struggling with it, and
Right.
it took breaking points and triggers to activate, emotions for me to actually be like, hey, I've something's wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I need to fix this.
Yeah.
And at some point, Tina and I were having a conversation. She's like, well, go talk to a therapist. And I was one of those where, as an adolescent, I want nothing to do with a therapist.
Right.
Right. I ain't even talking to nobody. I got nothing to say.
Yeah.
Mind your business. Like
I
that was
agree.
my mindset. As an adult, I was so ready to talk. Right. I mean, I let loose. Right. Once I think at first I was just trying to shock the therapist.
Mm-hmm.
With the stuff I've been through and the things I've seen,
Right.
it was just about shock value. And therapists have this amazing way of just listening.
Yeah.
And there's like awkward silence. So you feel the need to fill that silence. So you just keep talking.
Mm-hmm.
And you start working through your own stuff out loud.
Right.
And
that goes back to Chris' point.
Yeah.
Somebody to talk to.
I never felt comfortable talking to therapists though, because I got put in a little therapy sessions when I was 8 because some stuff that happened in the past, but I never maybe it was just me. I just didn't want to talk to anybody. So like with the therapy thing never really worked out.
Not yet, but as a kid, that's what brother's saying.
Was saying,
now as an adult,
it's better now. You understand, you're thinking like, hey, at the end of the day, that's the person that's going to try to help me get out of this. He's trying, she's trying. So as a kid, you're not as a kid, I wasn't sitting there thinking about no therapy. Like I just know it was this grown person just talking to me with these words. I thought
they were just going to tell my parents everything I say.
Yeah, like stuff like that. It's just but like it takes growing up.
No, it does.
It takes growing up.
So quick question to you, Chris. Just to brother's point, now that you're an adult, would you look at therapy different? Like, would you be willing to do something like that?
Yeah. Yes, for sure. I've never done it, but it's something that I would definitely look into.
Yeah.
If I'm ever feeling like getting back in those ways, because, mental health and depression, that's something that can always come back. Just because you get over it, it's some situation that can always put you back in that mood.
Right.
So you can't sleep on it. Mm-hmm. And I really would look into therapy though right now.
No, that's good. Go ahead, brother.
I got a lot of friends.
I think one of the most important pieces too is if you think about it as a young child, as an adolescent, we have major trust issues. Yeah. Right.
100%.
Because we have parents that are out of the picture.
This is a crazy conversation. Keep going.
We have parents that are out of the pictures. We've had people that have taken advantage of us. We have people that have done wrong things to us, so we don't trust the world.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And especially when you're in an urban environment, you're even more skeptical of everybody.
Right.
You don't trust nobody because everybody's out for themselves. That's the world you learn.
Right.
That's the world I learned.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think as a grown man, I've learned that I'm in control of my trust. I know that people are going to break my trust.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to make that the end of my world.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I'm going to have to deal with it. I'm going to have to trust again.
Right.
I'm going to have to drop a wall again. I'm going to have to make new friends.
Right.
and I'm going to have to change my circles. I literally just shared this morning. Something my mother-in-law told us one time. We were talking about friends that are no longer in our lives. She's like, baby, that's just God weeding your garden.
Right. 100%.
Right? Pruning the rose so the flowers can blossom.
Your mom said that?
My mother-in-law.
Moms, what
Wisdom.
What is it about moms? It's just
They
just know what to say, huh?
You know, they got the wisdom.
They got
bro.
that wisdom,
They
man.
got the wisdom.
My mom be saying the same thing.
Mother Nature, bro. They
Yeah,
got
it's powerful, and I think that's something that stands out is, you have to learn to trust yourself.
Yeah.
And be comfortable with who you are and know that you can handle the situation, right? Whether it's good or bad, you're going to handle it, and you've got to embrace that part. Once you do, then it's easy to start to say, you know what, I'm ready to talk to somebody. I need some professional help.
Yeah.
I gotta just because it's so close between the two, but trust and faith, brother. Tell me, because when you were saying that, I almost felt like your trust in yourself is also having faith in the bigger picture. But tell me, how those two coincide.
Yeah, I think when we talk about trusting faith, I'm trusting history. I'm trusting a word. I'm trusting a feeling. I'm trusting something inside of me. I'm trusting something beyond my mind.
Yeah. That's God. Hold on. This was something that we hit before. That's the way that you just described that describes blind faith, and that's one that you hit me with a long time ago.
Yeah, I'm trusting the things I can't see.
Yeah,
and I'm okay with not being able to see because I know that there's a safety net there for me. Right. So I need to enjoy every day. I need to enjoy what I do, where I spend my time, how I utilize my time, how I manage my time, who I spend my time with.
Right.
I'm cautious of that stuff now because I don't want to waste time.
100%. And for somebody who has a business, multiple businesses at that, and has a family, I think we kind of talked about it before, like the scheduling is kind of how you balance it. But like how are you maintaining your own mental health and sanity with all of this going on? Because my biggest problem is personal business, trying to figure out where does it fit in? Is my personal life just
I love this.
God, it's such a...
I meant to ask you that too.
No, that's
like, how do you find time? Like
that's a great question. Now think about it this way. So we all, right? You're in the military. You've worked in corporate gigs. You've had corporate jobs. If you look at our youth school, you're on a schedule, right? You got to get up at 6 a.m. You got to get on the bus at 7:18 a.m. You start first class at 8:05. You're in that class till 9:10. Like you're on a schedule.
Right.
Your entire life. So why would you stop that as an adult?
Right.
Right? Because we do it at work.
True.
You got to clock in at this time. You got to clock out at this time. You got to take your break at this time. We're very strategic about that when it comes to our professional lives.
Right.
But we don't apply it to our personal lives.
No structure and personal.
Right. So now when you think about that, how much effort are you putting into your career that you're not putting into your personal life? Your relationship.
Right.
Right? The responsibilities you have at home, you have to make time for that stuff. I know I need to install the new battery in the garage door at my house right now. I ordered the battery. I took the time to order it. Now I need to schedule the time to do it. So I have to schedule myself. So I use my calendar a lot and I plug my day in. So it's okay to say, no, I can't do that right now.
When you do that, is T involved with you, like with your schedule for the week or month, or
her schedule scares me. Like I look at her work schedule, like her time management is absolutely the most impressive thing.
Yeah.
And I look at like she is down to the minute when it comes to her work life.
No kidding.
And when I look at her calendar, I'm like, there's no way I could share my calendar with you. It would just be a burden.
Yeah.
But we communicate. I think a lot of it is hey, what's tomorrow look like for you? And it can just be a quick synopsis, but at least we know where we need to tag team in. Hey, I'm going to jump in. I'm going to take the dogs in the morning and you're going to be in Denver all day. And then I'll bring them home and, it's a handoff or if it's with the kids or whatever it is. But there's the communication that we put into our career. We have to be putting that into our personal lives, I feel. And I think utilizing a calendar, right?
Yeah.
Schedule your time to go to the barber. Schedule your time for yourself to go do whatever activity is going to just clear your mind.
Yeah.
Like you have to
Keep
make the
you
time.
sane. I like that.
Like
You
I
know?
was just asking Brother Luck. I said, hey, I got a date to go on. I need to get out of here kind of early on
Yep.
Friday. I was like, yeah, I need to. Sometimes you like cause like I wake up in the morning at like 05 and I go work out.
It's
focus
5
on-
o'clock for you non-military people. Go ahead.
It's 5 o'clock. And after that I deal with school, online school, and coming over here. But you know, you have to have some type of like personal life, you know.
100%,
Yeah.
man. You gotta balance the personal life.
Gotta balance it out.
Hey, real quick, I gotta snatch the moment real quick. T is hilarious. So in the comments on live YouTube right now, she says, first, this is a serious thing. She says to add, sometimes you have to give it to God and trust that He has you. That's like the faith and the trust that kind of the way that I believe they are. You know,
Message.
trust equals faith. Message. All right, and then T also said, you haven't done that yet, brother? Like
No,
you
I
haven't
haven't.
changed
I
the
haven't put the battery in yet. Nope. I have. That's on my honey to-do list.
honey to do
Yeah,
list.
She was sitting on there waiting for you to say it.
Uh-huh.
She caught you.
No, but I mean, it's real. Like, you know, I there was a point where there was a point in my life where I realized like there was Chef Brother Luck and then there was Brother,
Yeah.
and I didn't like that.
God, this is the
Yep.
identity conversation. God, this
Yeah.
one was tough for me.
It's hard, you know. I don't like that, but I've also realized that I created a persona in my work life who is the exact opposite of who I am as a person
Mm-hmm.
because I wanted to embrace the uncomfortable.
Right.
So my work life, it's like I'm on camera and I'm talking and I'm happy and, you know,
Right.
but in real life, I wasn't feeling that way.
Right.
Right. I was reserved. I was introvert. I was, you know, depressed. I was angry. I was
Right.
all that stuff that I had internally
Right.
was not my work life.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, I've had to find a way to bridge the two people and become one person. And, you know, it's really been dropping a lot of pride and getting past that. I mean, that's been a big piece.
I was literally just gonna ask you what is helping you pull between Chef Brother Luck and Brother Luck, and you might have just answered it, but go a
Yeah.
little bit deeper
Yeah.
into that because
I-
that is a process.
Yeah.
Well, I don't like the fact that, you know, it's not real. You're not being 100%,
Right.
right? You're holding back. You're not giving it your all because there's a certain amount being dedicated to this persona. There's a certain amount being dedicated to that persona. You can't check out
Right.
on one or the other. Like you have to commit. And a lot of that is just saying, you know what, I'm gonna try equally. And I think that goes back down to time management. When I remember sitting in training classes when it came to being a manager, leadership, and they talked about work-life balance.
Yeah.
And work-life balance, you know, was always the joke. Oh, you work on life until, you know, you work on your personal life until your work suffers, and then you flip it and you work on your personal life until your work suffers, and then
I
vice
feel like
versa.
that's been my life, but keep going.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you can't. That doesn't work, right? Because we get burnt out.
Right.
You get burnt out trying to work on work until, you know, oh man, I got to pay attention to doing the dishes and
Right.
showing up at the house and getting stuff done, and you know, hey, hi family.
Right.
This is my mom. Good to see you. I'm sorry I haven't called you in 2 weeks or a
Right.
month. Like you have to make those efforts to have those relationships because, you know, you don't know when those people are going to be snatched from you.
Right.
You don't know when your time is going to be done.
Right.
And how are you going to be remembered? Like what impact did you leave when it came to the people that you were around? Right?
Right.
Did you leave this planet with other people feeling better about themselves?
That's big.
Yeah.
And that kind of goes back to like something that I believe like you're infamous for, which is like putting someone else first. And like there's something about that helps your own mental health, which is helping someone else. Like there's something there, and I think it's like one of the biggest keys to success, which is serving someone. But keep on.
No, service is everything. You
Yeah.
know, I mean, you know, Chris obviously knows being in the military.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you know, I'm in hospitality. That's service,
Right.
I'm here to entertain you as a guest and provide you the greatest service that I can.
Right.
I want you to feel special.
Right.
And that's my job. That's my career in a nutshell, you know. And it took me traveling to Japan to really understand servitude.
Right.
I mean, I've hospitality over there is on a different level. They live to serve and make you feel special. I mean, that was so powerful. After 20 years in this industry, I thought I knew what it took to be a servant, but that was powerful. And then getting into my faith, I'm getting reality checks right now. Like, you need to be a servant. Like, stop trying to lead. You know, you need to listen. Fall back, and that's a big piece. It's humbling. It's humbling every time.
Yeah. Go ahead, Chris. You got something?
Oh, basically it was the same thing he was saying. Yeah, like helping people out. Like, that's a big thing. Like, it's funny. We're talking about this situation because just 2 days ago, I had just hit my boy up from North Carolina, my last duty station. I was just like, yo, man.
Where are you stationed at?
I was stationed at Fort Bragg. Fort Bragg, North Carolina. Yeah, Vietnam.
I'm from Jacksonville.
Oh, yeah, it was crazy.
Keep going. Tell the story, though.
Nah, but I hit my boy. I was like, yo, man, just checking up on you, seeing how you doing. Hit me up. And he said, man, he texted me back, and he said, man, I really needed that. I was going through a lot.
Wow.
I was going through something deep, and I really needed that. And I called him, and me and him talked about it, and he's doing better right now. So,
That's
yeah,
big.
like, just, like, checking on somebody. You know what I'm saying? Just hitting
Yeah.
some, you don't have to talk to him every day. Just hitting them out of nowhere. Just say, hey, how you doing? Just checking up on you. That could save people, man.
Yeah.
And I think that's what we're referring to is serving.
Yeah.
Like, even that is serving. You know what I'm saying? Serving your friend. And I think that brother does a real good at serving everybody around him. Like, his circle, whether it be the, people like yourself who, are coming from a program, and he continues to feed into you.
Yeah. Like,
I can't even tell you how many times brother will teach continuously, like all throughout the day, and it's just serving. And I think that does play a big part in how you're able to stay into the mental health. So real quick, just to dive into it, I'm obsessed with like the yin and yang, and I believe like order and chaos is like the yin and yang, and I think that has a lot to do with like mental health, which is like walking that line in between order and chaos. What do you think, brother?
I didn't even catch what you said.
All right,
I got totally distracted.
It's all right. Go ahead. You got something for me, though?
So, you know what's crazy? I feel like you need a little bit of both.
Yeah.
You need a little bit of that chaos and that, like, and you just need that, because if you just sitting there and your whole day's going good, everything's going good, you don't have nobody to argue with. You know what I'm saying? Like, in a relationship, sometimes they argue. That's normal for a relationship. But with the argument, you come out stronger together. You get through stuff together.
You create order out of chaos.
Yeah. So I feel like chaos is something that you need. Like, I kind of like the chaos. I kind of take it on,
Do you, and this is my question to you maybe, is do you correlate chaos to like negative mental health? Like depression and anxiety.
Chaos, yes. Chaos
and fear.
Chaos can be anything, man. Chaos can be having a long work day. Chaos can be owning 2 restaurants and having to go drive back and forth all day, every day, back to those restaurants, and then having people hit you up or text you about, you have to go to this meeting and stuff. That can be considered as chaos. The thing is, how do you deal with that chaos? Do you let that chaos, push you back into a hole, or do you just say, hey, I know I got to do this and get it done? It's a blend, and it's something I feel like people have to really train their minds to do. It doesn't come like overnight. You just got to train yourself to deal with it.
Go ahead.
Well, and how many of us define chaos as entrepreneurship?
Say that again.
So how many of us define chaos as entrepreneurship?
Right.
Yeah.
They do.
It is to a point, but I work in chaos. I thrive in chaos. I think it's because I was bred in chaos.
Yep.
And I respond well in that environment.
Right.
A lot of people can't understand or keep up with my pace or my projects. I mean, I'm all over the place. But for me, it works.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I enjoy it. You know, I had to actually like sit back and think. Like Tina asked me the other day, she's like, "Are you happy? Are you enjoying what you're doing?" I actually thought about it. I was like, "Yeah, I am.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying it." You know, I like to solve.
Right.
I like to be the resolution.
Correct.
I like to have 4 or 5 different plans of action ready to go.
Right.
You know, because you're gonna get hit with 4 or 5 different scenarios, and if you don't have things lined up, you know, it's gonna be tough. So I'm always thinking like, you know, okay, who's on the bench?
Right.
You know, who am I around? Who's on my team?
Mm-hmm.
Who do I have to support? Who can I throw things to? And then, you know, staying in touch with all those people. That's a constant for me. But, you know, I've also learned like areas of weakness, you know, communication. I need to be better about the communication.
Yeah.
I said it in my head.
Right. Me too.
But did I actually communicate to the
Right.
people who needed it? Did I put it on paper? Did I write it down? I mean, these are areas of weakness that I've learned about myself, especially as a business owner, because they're put on blast.
Right.
I mean, it's for everyone to see because, you know, you're the one responsible. If it didn't happen, it's because you didn't make it happen.
Yep.
Right.
You know,
Exactly.
so I have a lot of crazy ideas, but I've also learned to keep really good people around me to help with that chaos.
Right. That is the order, is the team that you have helping you and assisting you with it, you know, and maneuvering through that.
Yeah, I'm only as good as my team. Period.
100%.
Like, I love that people give me, you know, the props or the recognition, but it really is the people that are around me every day.
Right.
You know, from the people that are scrubbing those dishes and the floors to prepping the food, to serving the food, to making the drinks, to growing the food, to delivering the food. I mean, it's an army of people, and that's just the food portion, right? The food and beverage portion.
100%.
You know, then you get into the accounting and the marketing and, you know, the legal stuff. There's so many other elements that I have to bring people into the mix that are great at what they do.
Right.
Because I need to be able to say, hey, how should we handle this? Hey, what do you think? Now, I still need to take the lead on a lot of stuff.
Right.
But it makes my chaos a little bit more controlled.
Yeah, when you have a team.
When you have a team.
Oh, yeah.
And that's literally what I've been just trying to build the last 8 years. You know, and there's a lot of people. I've had a lot of people work for me over the last 8 years. And I'm very proud of successes and I'm also, you know, saddened by failures because I take those personally. Like, that's on me.
Right.
But at the end of the day, like when I look at the team and the culture that we're trying to build, I can see it.
100%.
You know, now it's just implementing it and not putting Band-Aids on problems, but actually like breaking it down to the foundation,
to the root cause.
Like we did here. We saw the problems. We tore the floor out.
100%.
We put new joists in.
Every layer.
Yeah.
Layer
you know,
after layer after layer.
I think that's the bigger thing is, you know, the biggest mistakes I've made in business have been just Band-Aids.
Man, that's deep.
I need a quick fix, and the quick fix always turns into a bigger problem.
Yeah. So tell me what's helping you focus more on the root cause versus a Band-Aid. Because obviously Band-Aid is what first comes to your thoughts. It's probably what is more of what you want to lean into, but the root cause takes a little bit more, you know.
You got to think about it this way. Like, I mean, you can simplify it down to its easiest terms. Like, you know, the big bad wolf's going to huff and puff. What kind of foundation do you have?
Right.
Right. So you have to build a strong foundation. It can't crumble when you walk away. And I've had restaurant teams that have crumbled when I walked away. I've had kitchens that have crumbled when I've walked away. Right. It's not as good if I'm not there.
Yeah.
That's not good enough.
Right.
Right. That's built on me.
Right.
So I have to change that thought process, which is going to, in return, give me better mental health.
100%.
You know, so
More
I think
trust in your
that's
team.
important. Let's do a quick roundtable for those that might just be tuning in. I know we just been sitting here chatting and having a deep discussion, but
Real quick, we can do the round table. Let's do the round table first. Go ahead. Round table. You're going to start, Chris. Go ahead.
Round table. This is Chris Madison, specialist in the United States Army stationed at Fort Carson, Colorado, working at the La Rochelle DFAC.
And what you doing? Tell them about the program because you're here.
Yeah, I'm in the program right now, working 45 days with Brother Luck. And
Brother Lynch.
I was hoping y'all would forget about that, man. I'm still thinking about
Because
that.
I don't know the real Brother Lynch, so I'm
You
just
don't
going to
know?
remember
Oh.
that forever.
Oh,
Nah.
He a
I'll send you
rapper.
some links.
All right.
But yeah, I'm working in this amazing program. Like I've never been able to do anything like this, and I just want to say to you while I'm here on the podcast, thank you for the opportunity.
Absolutely.
It's amazing. And basically, I'm learning the outsides of a civilian restaurant and how to run the business.
Right.
You know, how they really get down. Hey, shout out to the cooks in Lucky Dumpling. Lucky Dumpling and Four, they get down, man.
Yeah, you haven't
They-
even got into 4 yet.
Yeah, I just stepped in the Four yesterday, and I see a little bit.
That's
They
a
get down.
whole nother monster.
That's
Oh,
a
yeah.
whole other monster.
But, man, welcome.
Oh,
man.
yeah, thank you
That's-
guys.
that's
Thank you for
incredible.
having me, though.
No,
Thank
we
you.
thank you for being on. And I think I'll just go next. My name is Dana Keith, father, filmmaker, creator. I've been rocking with brother for a few years now. I don't know, probably like 3-4 years now. I've been filming him. I got so much content, and we've been rocking on this journey. No Looks Given is his baby, which I embrace because I love the principles. I'm a firm believer in, pride, courage, perseverance, and determination. And that's what we represent. We just don't stop. We keep moving forward. And man, I'm videographer, filmmaker. So I think that's me. Go ahead,
Yeah.
brother.
I'm just Brother Luck.
Yeah, I'm
Should
just
already
brother
know.
Luck.
Should
already
You know what I'm
know.
saying?
You
Y'all
know.
know who I am.
Husband, chef, restaurateur, business owner, mentor. I artist. I'm
Yeah.
I'm in everything. I just wanna just be inspired and inspire.
Yeah, I love that.
True.
I mean, I think that yeah, go ahead, hook us up
Oh,
with
yeah,
the
yeah,
cheers.
yeah,
I think
yeah,
that's
everybody.
proper, man. I just want to inspire everybody. Go ahead. We're
I,
gonna put it on Chef's camera.
I think one of the cool parts is we did this last week, and we learned a lot last week. I mean, even today, like we were trying to get this thing launched, and the internet was going out.
God, I wish y'all knew 8 cheers, bro.
Cheers. We were trying to get the internet going, and it was all just challenges and complications. But I think it's coming together. I think we're putting
It's
together
always worth it.
something really, really special.
No, it really is. Like they don't get to see like all the struggles, last minute Wi-Fi router resets, couldn't get the passwords in there, and I think it's coming along, man. We got multiple cameras this time. It's looks really good, 100%.
And the most important part, I think, for everyone to realize is that we're doing this on our own.
Yeah.
Right.
We're doing the research. We're doing the trial and error. We're doing the testing. We're watching the YouTube videos to figure out how to connect things and stream things. And at the end of the day, these aren't our primary crafts,
Sure.
but they're becoming another skill.
Right.
Because we're willing to learn. And I think that's something that's so
Man, I got to tell
important.
this story. I got to tell the story because I went to brother's house and I have footage of it. But I went to brother's house and it was over the quarantine, and brother had up a multi-camera setup for his cooking classes, and he was in there on his kitchen table with his big old desktop computer figuring it out as I arrived.
Man.
Like, I think that just says so much to like what he's saying is like we're learning ourselves, we're willing to fail, and 100% like truly raw, real, and authentic.
Yeah, I can't even begin to talk about the lesson that I got this last year. COVID was probably one of the hardest things I've ever gone through as a man, as a business owner, as a chef, as a leader. It pushed me more than I ever expected it to push me, and I think we'll get more in depth with this next week, because I think this will be next week's topic. Is like
What's that?
how did you survive?
Yeah.
Right. And then what are you doing now?
Yeah.
I think the amount of moves that we had to play and get into this chess game of COVID this last year was madness.
Yeah, it was a hot
And,
mess.
and I'm very proud of what we've accomplished, but it's because of faith and a great community and great family, great friends,
great supporters, great team.
Yes. And that's how we were able to do a lot of that. But what it did is it forced me to learn, adapt, evolve, and survive.
100%.
And we're still, we're still doing that. I mean, I'm getting ready to post later tonight. Like, we're partnering with the same team that did the parklets in downtown Colorado Springs. They built those parklets, the outdoor parklets for the restaurants, Home Builders Association, and their HB Cares program. We're getting ready to work with them. We're getting ready to put a post out tonight just to ask the community for some volunteers to come help us build the patio here at Lucky Dumpling. Because, what's crazy is during COVID, our general manager at the time and myself literally went out there and built an entire fence.
Right.
And we're not carpenters.
Not at all.
We put up a whole fence, for $2,500, and we got it licensed, and we created this outdoor patio area to be able to survive COVID. With all the restrictions for indoor dining. And
do you have a story about the tents that you
tents
put up?
Blown away. There's it's been a crazy year. But
the propane is a recent story.
The propane and the heaters all got stolen this week. It's been a journey. So to have an organization want to help us, hear our story, but then be like, you know what, you guys have done so much. Let us help you.
Yeah. That's awesome.
It means the world. I mean, that's what community's about. And it's giving me some more faith in humanity, and also just, helping with my own mental health, because
True.
When you lose a couple $1,000s in equipment,
right,
because somebody needed it and they felt that they were going to take it,
right,
that puts a little bit of pressure on you, where you're like, all right, I'm not going to respond. I'm not
get a
gonna
little
respond.
down,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So you got to keep moving, and then you put the right blessings out there, man, and it comes back at you tenfold every time.
Look, I gotta say this real quick, because I told a story and T just blasted me on the chat. She said, someone helped on that kitchen table. Just saying. So T was definitely a part of 100%.
This is the thing. Tina is the star
of that show. Oh my God.
She is the star of that show. And I know she hates being on camera, but when I met Tina, she was always the center of attention, right? If she was in a crowded room, everyone was going to pay attention to her, and she was going to have everyone cracking up.
Yeah.
She just had that natural ability to just constantly just be the entertainment, and that's
what it is. She's the entertainment she's funny. She's
funny.
Joking the whole time on you.
And when we started doing these classes, they started so simple, of just hey, we're gonna do it on Zoom.
Yeah.
And we had no idea what we were doing. We had one camera on a Mac, and we just started. And then it was welcome to OBS.
Yeah.
And then I went down a wormhole and was like, okay, we got this camera, and we got this camera, we got this microphone, we're going to do this. And she was like,
smartphone,
whoa.
you had smartphones, webcams, and the camera in the computer.
She was like, I didn't sign up for this.
Right.
You sold this to me as this is our date night, and we're cooking together. And now I'm working and I'm producing, and I have no idea what's going on. But, it's part of what made it great was we dropped a wall as a couple to our viewers and our fans and our supporters, to see us as people in our own home,
right?
Trying to survive and try to make it, and they kept a lot of people working because of the support that came from those classes, and came from those seminars. A lot of people still had jobs because of that all summer, all winter long. So, that's a really special piece that, as hard as it was for us to figure that out. And, she'll tell you some fun stories. I had one meltdown right before a class. Nothing was working, and I lost it. And, I was able to get it back together and go live. But, that's what you go through when you're trying to figure it out, and you're evolving, you're adapting.
100%. All right, real quick, I got to throw this out because I always like to give our listeners something to take away. And I think mental health is just one of those topics where the conversation just has to be held more often. You know what I mean? Just simply the conversations need to be had, or whatever that phrase is. So my question to you, brother, is what can you give the community or our listeners advice or tips so that we can be more open with mental health, but at the same time grow? Because I think that, that's an important key part, is to learn how we can, have this conversation, but also grow in a positive way.
Everyone is feeling a certain kind of way inside. And a lot of us feel like we're crazy. We feel like I've got these crazy thoughts in my head. I've got these feelings that I can't shake. I feel like nobody else feels this way. When you share your story, right, and you embrace your story and you start to share your story, it gives other people hope, right? Yeah. Or it's
powerful, bro.
It resonates, right? It resonates with them. Like, I'm not the only one that felt that way. And I think when you can actually get to that point of sharing, you're gonna change someone's outcome. So if there's any advice I'd give is don't be afraid to share your story, because there's no shame in your story. There shouldn't be, right? It's your story. True. You lived it, you walked it, you did it. Yep. It's your story. Can't nobody take that from you. So share your story, because your story is just as important as the next person. Don't downplay your story, because somebody will find inspiration and hope in your story. So share your story.
That's powerful. Yeah. That's powerful as I don't know what. Yeah. What you got, Chris?
Dana almost killed me right now. My bad.
What happened?
Now with the champagne.
Oh, you're fine, man.
Yeah.
Nah, it's look.
So I got this tatted on me. I always live by this. Sometimes you must hurt in order to know, fall in order to grow, lose in order to gain, because life's greatest lessons are learned through pain. And I feel like with all the stuff I've been through my life, I'm not gonna get into it, but like that right there just breaks it down for me. Like, it's how you push through, how you fight through it. You can have a depression stage. How are you gonna fight through that depression? Right. What are you gonna do? Who are you gonna talk to? If you don't want to talk to nobody, how are you gonna make it through yourself then? And that's basically it.
No, that's powerful.
Yeah. Yep. Don't quit.
Don't quit.
Don't quit on life.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the most important things that I share with people. Don't quit on life. Yep. As lonely as you feel, you're not. A lot of people are there for you. They're there to help you. They're there to listen to you. They're there to support you. Don't shut them out.
God, I got chills again. And I even think I want to even feed off of that, because a lot of people are going through what you're going through too. Mm-hmm. And I think it, gives you a little bit of comfort knowing that, it's not just you going through it. And that's all I got right there. But
no, it's a valuable point, man. It's people need to hear your story to not feel crazy, right?
That's true.
When I sat my first men's group with church, it was powerful, because I walked into that group thinking I'm not gonna have anything in common with any of these guys, right? I come from a completely different background. I come from all this pain and all this struggle. And when I sat down with these 4 other older gentlemen, right, twice my age, I realized that the things I was feeling internally for a long time, they all felt the same insecurities, the same fears, the same struggles.
100%.
And that was so powerful for me
gosh,
as a
so
young
powerful.
Man. Yeah, I've never forgotten that. So I think it's important to make sure that people hear your story so they can resonate.
I think that is an incredible way to recap. Chef, you or brother, you got anything before we wrap this up?
I'm excited to keep this going. As we're building this studio, it's not just about the cooking. The cooking's going to come, right? When the kitchen gets installed, I'm going to be cooking on here. When the bar gets installed, we'll be having, Steve up here doing wine, and that part's coming. I love this part, because this part is real, it's honest, it's true, and I think more people need this piece of it. Yeah. Than just the entertainment side.
100%.
So that's why we're building this studio. This studio is more than just, we're going to do really cool dinners up here. We're going to do really cool experiences up here. We are.
100%.
But it's going to be about education.
It's deeper than that.
It's deeper than that. There's going to be a lot of inspiration. There's going to be a lot of clarity that comes out of this space. 100%. And it's going to be for the community, right? Because the programs we work with, the at-risk youth, the domestic violence, the racism, the military that we have in this community that we support, there's so many factors that I want to incorporate. I mean, we were just talking about, what could we do up here in the future that will be impactful and mean something? And one of the ideas we had is, I said, I think it would be great to work with the USO and do one night a month where we just do a date night for people returning from deployment.
That's cool. That's super cool.
I think that, let's just do a date night for, 10 couples.
Right.
Because, you've been gone for 9 months. That means something.
That means a lot.
And I think that's what this space can be. So I'm really excited to see what it grows into. But I love that we're sharing this with the community and the viewers to see the beginning. We're filming it because as it gets bigger and bigger and bigger, which it will. I mean, it's cool to watch the analytics. I'm looking at all the numbers each week and the impressions. I'm like, wow, we're reaching a lot of people.
Yeah.
As this thing gets bigger and it gets bigger than just this community,
right,
it's gonna be cool to come back and look at all these stories.
100%, guys. I think that's gonna wrap it up, man. I couldn't get more inspiration from the message of this podcast, which is, share your story. That means a lot to me personally. But mental health is something that we are all dealing with, and there is hope, there is light. Have faith, because the future's bright. I had to rhyme that last part. But look, guys, thank you so much for rocking with us on the No Lux Given podcast.
Yes, make sure to subscribe to this
the
channel.
YouTube.
Make sure to follow us at Chef Brother Luck.
Yep, mine is official Dana Keith. All right, check me out.
Yes, across the board. Make sure to follow us. We will see you guys next week, and thank you again for joining us at the studio. Let's see what this looks like in a week, because we're going to have some more work done.
Yeah, we're going to have a whole new renovation.
We're gonna have walls.
Look, man. God, look. Every
Lights.
time I think I said 6 weeks last time. It ain't going to take no daggone 6 weeks, bro.
I don't like to just wait. I want it now. I'm a Veruca Salt. I want it now.
I want it now.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, look, guys, we thank you so much. Thanks for being a part of the No Lux Given podcast. We can't wait to see you next week. So make sure you join us. Give us some ratings. Give us 5 stars on some podcasts. We're going to upload these on some podcast platforms. Make sure you guys get the audio. That's coming soon. Peace and love. Thank you guys again. We're out.
Team Luck.